I briefly mentioned case in a previous video, so let's talk about it a bit more here. So remember, subject and object case is all about what form the pronoun takes depending on the function of that pronoun in the sentence. So again, for our first, second, and third pronouns, in the subject case we had I, you, he, she, it. And then in the plural, we, you, and they. Whereas in the object case, we had me, you, him, her, it, us, you, and them. So when do you use which? There's two ways to do these kinds of problems, two ways to look at this. One is a bit more fancy, rule-bound grammatical way, and that's to look at the pronoun, figure out what is it referring to or how is it functioning in the sentence as a subject or as an object, and then make the choice this way. But I think, that's a little bit advanced. Don't really need to do that for this test. The best thing to do, as you're going to see, is cross out the other part of the noun, the compound noun, and determine if that works. Let me show you what I mean by that. So let's look in this sentence. John and me walked to the store after school. So again, we've got these two nouns connected with an end. One noun, one pronoun. Is me correct here? So again, cross out the John end, right, the unimportant part of this situation, and read the sentence. Me walked to the store after school. No, wait a minute. It should be I walked to the store after school. So therefore, it should be John and I walked to the store after school. It should be the subject case. And again, it's the subject of the sentence. So therefore, it should be I, not just me. So that's the basic idea. Cross it out, read it, see how it sounds, go with the one that works. Let's look at the next one. The old man heard my brother and I sneaking into his house. So on first listen, this may sound okay to you. And that's because you probably have had it drilled into your head to, always make it, such and such an I, such and such an I, don't do such and such an me. And that's true for when I should be the subject. But is it true in this case? Well, again, if you're not really quite sure, cross out this stuff right here just temporarily and read the sentence. The old man heard I sneaking into his house. Wait a minute. No, it should be heard me sneaking into his house. It should be the object. And again, because the old man heard me, I'm the object here. I'm receiving this action. I'm the person who's being heard. So it should be the me form and not the I form. All right, but again, we can also just hear that from the way the sentence sounds after we cross it all out. Right, so the old man heard me sneaking into his house. So this is a case of the original. If you think it's right, it's because you're overcorrecting. It's not always going to be John and I or John versus John and me. Sometimes John and me is correct, and here's a case where it is. Do me a favor and keep this between you and I. So here, the technique of crossing out doesn't really work because then the between doesn't make sense. But the rule to remember here is after a preposition, your pronouns must always take the object case. So this should be between you and me. And this is something they will test directly. So just remember, especially with between you and me, or between John and me, or whatever it might be, between Bob and him, however it might go, it's always going to be the object pronoun. He gave John and I the key. So here, again, read the sentence. He gave I the key. Well, no, he gave me the key. So here, we're acting as the indirect objects because we're the beneficiary of getting the key. We're the ones who got the key. We haven't been given directly. The key was the thing that was given, but we got it. So we're the indirect objects, so we still take the object case. Or if you don't follow that, just cross this out, read the sentence, and see what you get. So let's move on to the next video.